Hi, I almost forgot to talk about the little pieces I put at the end of here. So here we go. Um, I finished your papers. I am a lucky man. I mean, you're really writing good stuff. And here's why I think it's important, right? Um, the amount of thinking pretty much everybody did about how people really act, under pressure or some sort of form of that. Um, was powerful. And hopefully you can see why we started with those stories in the Holocaust and we're moving toward, and then we move into the righteous mind because I think they are so connected. And this, from Malin's paper, was a great summary of Philip Zimbardo. He said there's 4 reasons why this engagement, like we can turn off our morals. And when you look at the 4, right, um, you can see, right, how these things can be tied to what we are um, reading in the righteous mind, right? So, and there's another thing that I wanted to add about this. Check out this line. By comparing our good behavior to the evil deeds of others, we give ourselves permission to engage in moral behavior. So, another fun World War II fact. After the war, right, we looked at what the Nazis did, right? And some of the things the Japanese did, and we're like, oh, that's bad. Okay, let's punish people. Now, then somebody said, whoa, 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 right? Let's double check everything. So basically, if you look at the Nuremberg trials, right, and how we came up with our ideas are, let's take something like killing civilians, right? Well, the Germans killed lots of civilians. Did the Allies kill civilians? Yes, right? Both sides bombed civilian targets. Okay, that's okay. And so basically, we kind of went through the list, and everything that the Allies did and both the Allies and the Germans did, not a crime. Now, as soon as we can find something that the Germans did or the Japanese did that we didn't do, there's the crime, right? So you can see how, right, if we do it that way, right, we can get away with all kinds of things, right, that are actually just horrible, but hey, they did it too. And there's a lot more in this quote, but go ahead and, I'm sorry, not quote, paraphrase. Go ahead and read that, right? The other thing that I just wanted to mention was this was a quote that showed up in a couple different papers, sometimes smaller, sometimes, this big. Um, but there's a couple things about it. Number one, it's a powerful quote, right? And then you can see, right, the as far as committing a crime, right? First, it's out of duty, right? You can think about that if somebody's like, for example, stealing, if you like Les Mis, stealing a piece of bread so right, your sister's son can eat, right? First, it's out of duty. Then you get into the habit of it, and finally for pleasure. I believe this is the story of Breaking Bad, right? But this, there's no crime that a man will not commit in order to save himself. And of course, that is very big, meaning no man. And of course, we know, even in the camps and in our own lives, there are people who will sacrifice themselves and say no to a criminal act, right? But the point is that we are all capable of this, and we can all be that person. And if you keep doing it, right, it can move all the way from duty to habit to pleasure. So just a strong line from the book that a couple of people used, and a nice summary here. And really, I'm not kidding. I enjoyed the papers. I hope all of them, in all of them, I could totally see that research effort being made. And then there's of course just levels of comfort with getting that information out and organized. So when you're moving on to the next paper, what I want you to do, and this is why I had you do the discussion post, think about what went well, think about what didn't work, and then make the necessary adjustments going forward. And of course, the feedback that I gave you. So for example, you can assume, it's probably safe that if you're still missing some MLA things, that you're going to have to go back and watch those videos again. Or if I say, hey, your topic sentences don't always match up with everything in the paragraph, you will want to make sure once you get done with your first draft of the next paper that you go back and look for topic sentences. And writing is always, right, always a process. You write one paper, you learn a bunch from it, apply what you learned, what worked, to the next paper, you make adjustments for what didn't. All right, I just wanted to make sure I got that in so you understand why I have those couple quotes there. And I really did enjoy reading your papers, so nice work on them.